Introducing LT Defense Tactical Gear, your ultimate solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skills? Our firearms training programs will take your proficiency to the next level. Trust LT Defense for all your tactical gear needs and gear up for success on the battlefield.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. Think of all that times no one else. Every sprint in the summer. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time.
I'm going to say if they play just the amount of games as the NBA, with the amount of hype that they have, if they just put some primetime games on after the NBA season, they would be a profitable company.
Looking to get it into Smith. What a pass! That's game! Cordell Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in. Your weakest link on the team, who is a complete liability,
is gone.
In the playoffs,
Out of there.
You lost nothing.
You know, people watch 90 plus minutes of a soccer game to watch Miami Dolphins Stadium get destroyed over one goal.
Yeah.
See, this is going to determine my running back position. The Bills. Ooh, I'll take Cook.
But we're gonna get to our final play. This is absolutely the Duncan Summer League. This was just filthy. Check this out.
And they're trying to force a contested perimeter shot and keep it out of the lane. Londa's Williams.
Till the final whistle. Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Military Broadcast Radio till the final whistle, a special Wednesday morning. I give the floor to our esteemed colleague, our friend, on this trade deadline Wednesday show, Election Day Wednesday show.
Oh, yeah.
Caveman, you have the floor, my friend.
All right.
Take it away, sir.
So, a day after the firing of Dennis Allen, Saints trade away our 4-time Pro Bowl corner and Defensive Rookie of the Year, Marshawn Lattimore, along with the 2025 fifth-round pick to the Washington Commanders for a 2025 third, fourth, and sixth-round pick. Honestly, it's pretty good value. It sucks we had to give away a pick too, but we got a third and a fourth, so we kind of had to give something back with the player too. So that's kind of unfortunate that we had to lose Marshawn Lattimore as it is. This season's plagued with injury. Even he's injured. He's dealing with hamstring stuff right now. He hasn't played in 2 weeks. So this is still like one of or the best thing to happen for the Washington secondary since, God rest his soul, Sean Taylor. I'm gonna be dead serious here. Like, this is probably one of, or if the best thing to happen for that team.
Much needed
as far as defense goes.
For Washington too.
They're kicking ass right now.
Yeah.
So they're making their way through the NFC. Goes from the 14th ranked team to the second. So good for him.
Yeah.
But let's take a look now at this 11th overall pick corner. He had quite the legendary rookie season. I'm not going to lie. As far as Saints defense goes, this guy's probably like all time got to be one of our best defensive players. Saints and good defense. It just, you don't hear that in the same sentence very often, like at all. Let's take a look.
Not since your boy Jonathan Vilma, brother.
Exactly. Or, Tracy Porter. I can't forget about
Shout
my
out
boy.
Tracy
Super
Porter.
Bowl legend
Game-winning
Tracy Porter.
picks. But in his 13 games in 2017, Marshawn Lattimore gathered 52 total tackles, 42 were solo. He had a forced fumble, a career-high 5 picks, which actually led the league that year as a rookie. He had 1 pick six and 18 deflections while playing 87% of the defensive snaps that year. So he played 751 snaps total throughout the entire season. And I'm just going to say this now. This isn't even his best year. There was some seasons like 2020. We were kind of starting that downfall. It was Drew Brees' last season. We still made the playoffs, but we got beat by Tom Brady in the divisional round. They went on to win that Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we couldn't stop him. We couldn't bring him down that year. But he pretty much immediately solidified himself as the number 1 corner on our team from the year he got drafted.
He turned into pretty much a lockdown where nobody was throwing to his side defensive back there for a couple of years.
It was Lattimore Island in New Orleans. There you kind of was him on your best guy, and we kind of prayed that everyone else played some good defense. Because, dude, this team, man, Saints a good defense. You'll never hear it.
Him and Cam Jordan.
Oh yeah, they were
pretty
really
much
solid that year.
That's pretty much all you had for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss his rivalry with him and Mike Williams. Those were just always pure cinema.
Or Evans, Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That brings me to his matchups that year, because he had to play Mike Evans twice, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen twice in 2017.
That was when Thielen was a dog too.
Oh yeah, because we played him week 1 and we played him in the divisional round. Minneapolis Miracle happened in 2017, so we had to play the Vikings twice. We had to play the Bucks twice. So Mike Evans. They did not have Chris Godwin yet, but this was when they had Deshaun Jackson and a younger Jameis Winston on that team. So the Buccaneers really weren't that bad, even though they were the last team in the NFC South that year.
I was like one of those years where Winston was just statting it.
Yep. I'm pretty sure
touchdowns and interceptions.
That was the year that he broke the 50 touchdowns, 50 interceptions that year.
I think it was 30.
30? 50 would be
50
insane.
crazy,
30 for him. He also had to play against Julio Jones twice, Kelvin Benjamin twice. He was on the Panthers, traded to the Buffalo Bills midseason, and we played the Bills. So he had to play him twice. Deshaun Jackson, already mentioned him. That season, week 2, we played Tom Brady and the Patriots. So he had to guard Brandon Cooks. Chris Hogan was there cooking up too in the slot. That Chris Hogan, that was the guy you're talking about.
That's who I was talking about on the last show.
Okay,
he doesn't get a free shout out.
He doesn't get the free shout. Golden Tate, we played them once. We got the NFC North that year. So we had the Lions, Golden Tate, Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, and Jordy Nelson. That team was stacked that year.
Devontae Adams went off on the New Orleans Saints.
He did.
That game too.
He did. Tavon Austin and Sammy Watkins. And they had Robert Woods on the Rams that year.
That's some matchups for
they
the
were
boy.
still the St. Louis Rams that year.
This was his rookie year.
This was just the rookie year. That's pretty much all the notable matchups from just that one season. That's all the guys that he was lined up against through that whole year. So that's an insane season, insane rookie matchups for a defensive rookie of the year winner. Some people saying that he shouldn't have won it that year. I definitely say it's guaranteed. But like I was saying, that's not even his best season. That year, there was 3 teams from the NFC South in the playoffs. The Falcons made it. Matty Ice was still kind of cooking up with Julio Jones, and they just got Calvin Ridley in that draft too. And
those were some special teams too.
Cam Newton was still on the Panthers, so they were riding. Even though they weren't really ever the greatest team. They had Luke Kuechly in their defense. Like they were a stacked team too.
Was that the year you guys beat them 3 times?
Yeah, we beat them.
Swept them, and then you played them in the wild card round and beat them.
Yep,
beat them again.
Beat the Panthers 3 times that year. That was a good season. Watching us beat Cam Newton 3 times was amazing.
Yeah,
dude, that guy just tore us up. Let's see, but now as we move forward, take a look at his rookie year. What does this mean for the Saints? Going forward, we got Dennis Allen relieved, and our new special teams coach, Darren Rizzi, is stepping in as the interim head coach right now.
I was going to ask you who was stepping in for interim.
He's been with the team 6 years, and this is actually his 14th year in the NFL. He was a special teams coordinator for the Miami Dolphins from 2001 to 2010 to 2018. Sorry about that. But he's also had some head coaching duties, University of New Haven from 1999 to 2001 and University of Rhode Island in 2008. So he kind of has some potential to play spoiler late in this season for some teams because we still play Washington once, we play Green Bay, we play the Rams, we got to play the Falcons again, and Baker Mayfield is still kind of cooking up with nobody. So we could play spoiler on a lot of these teams here. So this could be honestly a really fun end of the season, even though we're probably going to go on to lose 8 in a row. We're going to probably get beat by the Falcons this weekend. But we could play some spoiler on some teams.
Does Caveman get green hair, Mercury?
I thought we were doing the PT for
we're going to do
push-ups.
We're going to do PT for that.
But we don't have Lattimore anymore. It might be like 700 push-ups now, man. I might be getting close to it. This is going to be the first 100-point score ever put up in NFL.
Caveman's going to be 5'9", 225, jacked on eating donuts and doing push-ups.
I'm getting all the carbs I need. Shout out Dunkin' Donuts, man. Proud sponsor of MBR.
You know, talking about Dunkin' Donuts real quick, remember December 10th, we'll be taking a radio day because we'll be going over to the Valor Point to give the Christmas baskets.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a business or a nonprofit and you have swag and you have exactly 55 items to put in the basket, you're more than welcome. These are given to homeless veterans that are in a drug and alcohol program so that they can get housing and proper employment. So just so you know that's going on.
Yes. We'll be over at Valor Point December 10th, and I'm pretty sure Brandon Stokely is going to be there. So if you want to come see
the man Stoke,
could be Brandon Stokely. That would be pretty sick.
It's like Captain America. He was telling us to watch our language.
Don't sue us.
We're keeping it clean so far this morning.
We always appreciate the advice, Stoke.
We appreciate it.
Free shout out for Brandon Stokely.
Free shout out for him for sure.
He's a great dude. Well, we're talking a lot about the Marshawn Lattimore trade. A lot of other moves happening around the deadline, fellas.
I do got a little more here.
Oh, sorry.
Because the Saints rebuild starts now. You know, Darren Rizzi is going to find some changes. He seems like no nonsense guy. Like he's
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman, what did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now. Marshawn Lattimore is gone, so the defense, we're not getting any better. we're not getting any better.
No.
It's really the time to just.
And you're not getting any younger.
Nope. We're going to find out what works. We're going to make some changes of what hasn't worked. The biggest thing, though, is going to have to be accountability, because it's like he was saying, he opened up in the media, and it's not like basketball where, the whole team can be doing really bad and one guy might have like 70 points and that team still wins. But as on the defense, one guy messes up, you mess it up for the other 10 that are on the field. So accountability is going to be big coming forward for this team. And the changes for the entire roster, probably going to be a whole new team by the time we get to next season, to be honest. Because we got 8 draft picks in this year's draft after that trade. First, 1 second, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, and 2 6th-round picks. So Lattimore's gone.
Easily get a few more if you let guys go in free agency and get those compensatory picks.
That's
I had a
what
question.
I'm thinking.
Going forward, do you think your team is going to go a defensive route for head coach or offensive route for head coach, Caveman?
We got to go back to offense, dude. We can't get in the end zone anymore. That's got to be the biggest issue with the defense. Is there's too many 3-and-outs, or we get down the field and our red zone offense is just terrible. We can get all the yards we want between the 20s, and the second we get into the red zone, it's pretty difficult for us to score. That's why with Lattimore gone, Dennis Allen gone, Mickey Loomis is gonna 100% be on the hot seat if people aren't seeing potential for growth here in the future for New Orleans. He's been with us for a long time, so he knows that this is a pretty successful franchise for the last 20 or so years, with a few cold streaks mixed in. This is definitely going to be a big time for rebuild. With the amount of cap space that we're in the hole right now, we're going to really see the ship is sinking. So can Mickey Loomis fix this or put an attempt to? Because he's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat. He's been around to see success. He's our GM during Hurricane Katrina. He got Sean Payton on the team. He got Drew Brees on the team.
He's an icon there.
He drafted this 2017 draft class that had Alvin Kamara, Marshawn Lattimore.
That's pretty good.
Marcus Williams, and Cincinnati Bengals Trey Hendrickson was on that Saints draft class.
He also robbed the Green Bay Packers of Taysom Hill.
Yeah. So you've had a history of hits, and you've been with the team through success. So you should know that you should know how to get this team back on the right track. I'm going to be honest. So he's honestly on the hot seat now that the ship is sinking. We're going to see what he can do with these 8 picks. We're going to see what he can do with these older guys to clear up our cap space, because it's still $75 million in the hole. 65 million.
How?
In the hole. Michael Thomas, we're paying Lattimore, we're paying Kamara, we're paying a lot of people on the team.
Cam Jordan, I know, got
Cam
a bag.
Jordan's getting a bag.
Granderson also got a bag.
Granderson's getting a bag. I'm not really too sure how much.
Olave's still on a rookie deal, yeah?
I think so. Right?
I think this is the
years.
last year of his rookie deal.
So, I mean, he's going to probably want to get paid.
He's going to want to get paid.
To Caveman's point, the Saints defense, brother. Total yards, 28th. Passing yards, 27th. Rushing yards, 25th. Points scored, so your defensive points allowed, basically, 26 in the NFL. Here's the outlier. Takeaways, 13 takeaways for the New Orleans Saints defense, ranked 2nd in the NFL.
So
bottom of the NFL in defense, middle of the pack on offense, rank about 16th in total yards, 18th passing yards, 13th in rushing yards, 15th in points scored. And you have 11 turnovers on offense, which is 15th in the NFL. So not bad.
Our defense looked pretty solid through the first 2 weeks of the season. Our defense looked pretty good in December because we were scoring 40 points a game. We had a pretty good run there for 2 weeks.
A good 2-week run, yeah.
For the future, though, Saints fans, just stay strong.
I got one more question for you.
Hope to play spoiler.
What would you like to see your organization do to take that next step that you were talking about next season?
The biggest thing, honestly, is within the next few weeks, we really got to figure out what's going to happen with Derek Carr, because we have young guys, But is he really playing at a level where he's going to be able to develop a person to fill his role when he's gone? And he's making a lot of money as it is. We took on. That's another reason why
you took his
on his contract from the Raiders,
that.
and he was getting a bag from Oakland.
Yeah.
So, because he was their starter for however long, this is his 11th year in the NFL. He hasn't really been playing too great.
I'm gonna say one name. Would you or wouldn't you? Mike Vrabel, next head coach, New Orleans Saints.
That honestly, that seems pretty realistic.
I mean, he's a guy that can come in and rally the troops.
Seems pretty realistic.
He got
Rob
hosed in
Saleh.
Tennessee, man. He did not deserve to get fired.
That
for
was my
Tennessee.
pick.
See, now if
Bring
you go
in
that
Saleh,
defensive route, I
that's
think
more
those guys
unrealistic,
could
though.
bring in the next type of. I mean, you already got Kubiak there. I think that's your offensive guy. You get one of those like CEO type head coaches, because it's hard
Bingo.
replacing Sean. I mean, there's only one play. There's not many head coaches who can be an elite head coach, and also call plays. It's very difficult.
Yeah. I like Vrabel. I mean, he had a Titans team. They were scrappy. They went on some playoff runs. I mean, besides Derrick Henry, like who did they have? They had AJ Brown for a little bit, and then they traded him away for peanuts, and
like the Titans
were still able to be competitive.
They were so bad because of the organization, like front office made the Titans bad.
Yeah.
That's why you got Mayo, man, back under center. Honestly, though, a big thing for me, like get a sure hands guy. Because I'm gonna be honest, like
who I could see playing, suiting up for the black and gold here in a couple seasons, playing that third down possession guy. I could see Romeo Doubs stepping over. I don't see us bringing him back after next year. I think he's going to be a perfect fit for something that a team needs. We don't really need a possession receiver in Green Bay Packers. We have a couple of those guys. I think he'd be a perfect fit for your type of offense. Outside the numbers, he's not going to play inside the numbers. Olave can play inside. Dobbs can play outside. He can get off
speed.
He can get off press man, and he has speed, and he has vice grip hands. I think that's somebody that and he's going to be cheap, brother. He's going to be cheap. I mean, he hasn't done anything in the NFL. He's not going to need, high $100 million. He's probably going to be a guy you can get for 4 years, $95 million.
Honestly, that's not a bad deal.
That's what we
Saints
need.
are down bad.
I got one more question for you, Caveman.
They are.
So, say you guys move on from Derek Carr. Are we putting all our eggs in the Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener, one of those guys as a future basket? Or if you're in the position where you've got a high enough draft pick and you could say get like a Cam Ward or a Shador Sanders type guy,
that's interesting.
Is that who you go for?
I mean, because Spencer Rattler was a 5th rounder.
Yeah, he was a 5th round pick.
So I mean, it's not like you're married to the guy.
Around the same. Yeah, we're not really married to those guys, especially because the team's just so banged up that we're not really able to have a 5th round pick like excel too much, because he's just getting sacked, turning the ball over, getting hit on his blind side.
Offensive line is really your
really
first,
control.
second, third, and fourth need on that.
that
team.
That's why it's like, do we go the safe route and have that be our 6th overall pick? Because that's where we're sitting at right now. We're at the 6th overall.
I think you're tied with like 5 other teams though. With like the same.
There's like a million.
It's all going to shake out.
There's 8 teams with 2 wins.
I wouldn't start looking at draft order until about mid-December.
Yeah,
that's usually when I look at it.
But I don't really want to go the safe route with our 1st overall pick and just pick an offensive lineman. I feel like if you really want to see your team explode, take a chance on people and have somebody that's a late round player. Maybe we got some 2nd and 3rd round picks. Some offensive linemen that can be NFL starters are definitely going to drop to the 2nd, 3rd round.
Exactly,
it's true.
We could get some guys in there.
I mean,
go for the gusto, dude, and just go Austin Genty and just do Austin Genty, Alvin Kamara.
That would be insane.
Just spit.
That would be
just
insane.
run Wildcat
Spider
every play.
2. Well, just get like one of those quarterbacks who can just manage Spider 2 Y banana, flex out. Dude, I want to see a quarterback under center and have a split option offense where like there's 3 guys in the backfield, right? 2 of them are running back, and put a wide receiver out there, and you can flex motion. So you get
give me
Kamara
Taysom
and
Hill.
Olave in the freaking bunch formation against a linebacker and a safety.
Then give me Taysom
be
Hill
fun
at the
to-
QB.
That'd be fun to watch for sure.
It's just ancient thinking. Teams aren't going to do like you see Shanahan, you see LaFleur. I've seen LaFleur do it. With Jaden Reed and AJ Dillon last year for all people. Go
Yeah.
put just go get Austin Gentry, dude. I mean, he's scoring 9 touchdowns on everybody.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
talk
if
about being
that-
aggressive. That's an
or-
aggressive move right there.
If that's how it turns out, then give me Taysom Hill under the center, dude.
Yeah.
Because he had some games in the 2020 season because Jameis Winston and Trevor Siemian both got hurt that year. So he had to play like the 2021 year. He had to play like the last game, last 2. He didn't have too bad when he's like fully starting quarterback.
He has 6 interceptions for his career.
Taysom?
Also, I mean, if you're the Saints,
Yeah.
also I wouldn't hate you going after like an elite edge rusher in the draft.
That's the main thing I was
Like
looking
just
at.
a destructive force off the edge.
Yeah.
One guy I got my eyes on right now. I'm not really even sure where he's projected to go in the draft right now, but Kyle Kennard from South Carolina, one of the best DNs right now in the SEC, tied for first in sacks.
Who's that guy on Tennessee? I'm blanking on his number. You know what I'm talking about, number 27. He's a D end.
Oh yeah.
He's one of my favorite edge
name.
rushers. That's gonna probably be available in this draft.
Like premier
right
pass
now,
rush.
he's being picked anywhere from 8 all the way to 25. So a big
Okay.
there's a and that's where the combine, all that's going to shake out. But as high as 8 is pretty respectable.
We'll see.
Hard to do mock drafts this early on. So much
totally.
shakes
And
out.
I'm just looking
It's
at where the
too early.
draft grade is right now.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
From what I've seen, he's looking pretty good. Saints fans, keep your head up, stay strong. Hopefully we can play some spoiler. I mean, maybe we'll win a crazy one. Maybe Jake Hayner starts one week and we just like destroy somebody. Who knows? Who knows what happens?
We'll see.
Let's get on to the rest of these trades,
Yeah, I
though.
was gonna
because
say,
there
speaking of edge
was some crazy
rushers,
stuff.
the Lions bringing in Zadarius Smith, and they also got a 7th round pick in 2026.
Okay.
They gave up a 5th and a 6th round pick for him. I mean, that's honestly not a terrible trade for the Lions.
They're about 5 years too late on.
Yeah,
on him.
like he's not like an elite pass rusher anymore. I honestly, I heard some rumors that maybe they would, sell the farm to get like a Max Crosby type, which
That would have been insane.
yeah, kind of do a Rams thing, sell your soul for a Super Bowl that year. But
I mean, if you're the Detroit, that was my point on TikTok. I was like, hey, why wouldn't you? You're the freaking Detroit.
yeah,
Sell them freaking Ford Motor Company if you have to.
At
Give
this
them a
point,
bunch of free
give 'em the
freaking
house.
Ford Mustang GT 500s, dude.
I
And be
mean,
like,
I'd-
here.
I'd give up 2 firsts for Max Crosby if I'm the Lions.
If I'm the Detroit
Any day.
Lions, brother, I would give them Detroit.
The key to the city.
Here is literally the mayor's office. You know what I mean? You've
Yeah.
never won anything in your entire life.
We'll ship you the
And
water.
that's-
Everybody's leaving next season. The cat's out of the bag there.
Mm-hmm.
GM's gone, coach is gone, or excuse me, not their coach. He's sticking around. Ben Johnson's probably gonna take a head coaching job. Defensive coordinator's probably gonna take another head coaching job. I don't know, man. This is the year.
be
If
rough.
you could sell 3 future firsts and a second to get at Max Crosby, Myles Garrett,
Yeah.
you do it.
Especially when you're a franchise that's had such struggles maintaining and consistency and being good for long periods of time. Like
Go
you're not
for it.
an organization like the Steelers or the Packers or the
No.
Patriots were for a number of those years. Like you,
Gotta go.
I
You're
mean,
the third
gold.
cheapest owner in football.
yeah, and you guys, your
Go
fans
for it.
have been struggling for so long. I mean,
You
give
guys-
give it all up. I mean,
They
like,
got Zadarius Smith.
yeah. I think he'll still help the defense, but it's like, I mean, he's a 31-year-old.
And when
You
two
know, edge
teams in your
rusher.
division already said you can't stop
Yeah.
the run, that's all you have to do to that guy. And what we see in that game, we just stopped running the football. We had 108 yards at halftime. He said, no, we're good. Probably because of the rain, we got behind. Teams are going to watch film on that and say, well, it's not raining where we're at.
Yeah.
Their entire right side of their defensive line is just, practice squad players, essentially. He's going to help a little bit, but
Like, I mean, if you were going to trade with the Browns, bro,
kind of
give
underwhelming.
them up a lot for Myles Garrett. I mean, could you?
Yeah.
You got Elaine McNeil there in the middle and Myles Garrett on the edge. Like, God, hey, good luck offensive lines. You know,
Right. Yeah, where they can tee off on you.
right? Because I mean, Elaine McNeil was.
Sydney spent 20 minutes watching last week's episode, thinking that it was this week's.
Good morning.
Thank you, Sydney.
It's our early
Appreciate
one
you
today.
turning it
To
in.
Mercury, the guy from Tennessee, James Pierce Jr.
James Pierce,
the
that's his
number
name.
1 rated pass rusher right now. He has 15 sacks, 14 and a half tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. Right now, he is slated to be number 6 overall.
And like he's got like some great, like I remember watching him against Jaden Milrow. Like even when he
has
lost
a 7 foot, he has a 7'2" wingspan at 6'5", 245.
Oh my
like
God.
when he even when he
Holy
lost
crap.
contain on Milrow, he was able to like run them down and like track him down. So like, I mean, Milrow's a pretty athletic quarterback. Like a guy like that could, you know, chase down a guy like Lamar Jackson, or, you know, if you're the Saints, so you probably have to play Jalen Hurts a lot.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Number 2 is Ashton Gillowett, very similar, from Louisville. 14 sacks, 14 and a half tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, 3 fumbles recovered, and an interception. He's right there. He's also 6'4". These linebackers now, dude, are just like, oh, we're not going to play basketball. 6'4", 240.
Yeah, they're freaks.
They want to hit people.
Wild.
We need some more freaking Harold Carmichael 6'7"
Right.
freaks, man. I had only reason I know that is from the video game. Never knew that guy was 6'7".
Yeah,
that dude is a freak.
Well, let's back to the Zadarius Smith trade. Let's give me your grade on that, Jimmy. I mean, I'm gonna give that like a C-.
I was saying C+ just because he's
Like
a veteran.
Yeah,
he's gonna help the young guys. Detroit, I think, has done an okay job drafting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we can all
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Even I'll say that I hate the Lions personally, but I think they've done a fairly good job drafting, especially young players.
It's not fair to hate on the Lions, bro. I mean,
their division. I want to
been
see
your doormat for years.
I want to
I
see
mean-
team planes crash out of the sky to make it easier for me. I've seen him beat my team at home the last like 5 years in a row with Aaron Rodgers.
Fair enough.
We
fair
use
enough.
Detroit.
True,
We
true.
use Ford Field to sort of like be our like, you know, toilet bowl. We get to flush down the crap at the end of the year. It happens all the time. But like I still respect the Lions this year. I mean, they're putting it together, man. So like I think that's a veteran. He's going to come in, and I think you're going to see him a lot. I don't think you're going to see him a lot on first and second down. I think he's shown that he's not an every down edge rusher anymore.
No.
I think where he's going to come into play when
Situationally.
you're 3rd and 5 or longer, and he can just pin his ears back. Give it a C+. It also depends on end of the year, man. I mean, the games tighten up. They're played differently. The gameplay is different. We see pass rushers beginning of half of the season tee off, and they're doing all these exotic things. End of the year, they're just sort of out there, just sort of like maintaining. So because you can't give up that edge. I don't know if he's one of those guys that can just set the edge where he gets upfield so fast. I think teams will let him just pass rush and then just, you know, scheme off of it and maybe bootleg out and create something outside of the pocket on him. That's kind of been the trend when he's been on the field with Cleveland and going back to the Minnesota Vikings. So I give it about a C+. And kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
Other than Lattimore.
I don't think like it's
and
gonna
Trey White to Baltimore is another intriguing one I want to touch on a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because like that's a guy that like if he's healthy, Baltimore, obviously their secondary is the weakest in football right now. I think they're ranked 32nd in football. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, they are still the worst passing
Okay.
defense.
So like, you know, and that's a guy that going back to Buffalo, if he's healthy, he's a lockdown Lattimore style defensive back.
That's
gonna be interesting. Baltimore also boosted up their offense too, because that's their, you know, strength right now. You always add to your strength and add to your weakness. I think the Baltimore Ravens got an A on both of their picks.
I like the Deontay Johnson.
I like the Deontay.
Yeah.
I like it now. I don't know that's going to be a running game. That's going to have to travel into January. Deontay Johnson's not going to be somebody in bad weather that I just don't know. I have question marks there, but their running game's going to have to travel. It is a good piece for him. I give Baltimore Ravens an A real quick, and I'll kick it off to you, Mercury. I'll give Baltimore Ravens an A. Honestly, I'll give the Saints an A for getting something back in return and kicking off a lot of, you know, of that cap space.
A lot of dead cap off.
You know, a lot of dead cap off. I think that's an A. I think just because of I've seen it with my team, it just pays dividends year or two down the road. You might not have gotten a first-round pick for the guy. You got cap space, and that's almost just as important.
Yeah.
How we feel about Cam Akers going to Minnesota? They gave away 2026 conditional 7th-round pick. Or they
that
got
happened a little while ago,
Texans.
I think, right?
Yeah, Texans received 2026 conditional 6th-round pick. Vikings get Cam Akers and a 2026 7th-rounder. Cam Akers.
That's
I mean,
that's a C. I mean,
I like the middle of the pack there trade
because they're probably going to go on the road in the playoffs.
I feel like he's not going to really start much over Aaron Jones if Aaron Jones is healthy too. I still think he'd rather take Jones over.
Oh yeah,
Cam Akers.
yeah.
Another running back that got shipped off, Khalil Herbert to Cincinnati. How are we feeling about this one? I think this is a solid trade for Cincinnati, who has really been struggling with the run game. You know, you're starting to find something with Chase Brown. Zach Moss never really panned out. We always, there was always a lot of like flashes from Herbert, and you're like, this guy could be a solid back, but I felt like Chicago, he was always underutilized.
He's got really great speed. He's a really underrated like burst speed. Dude's really quick. He's got a really smaller frame.
Big, and he's like kind of stocky though, like for a shorter guy. So I mean, they got two kind of undersized backs there, which I mean, I think Cincinnati needs a split backfield. I think, if Chase Brown or, Khalil Herbert is, toting the rock 25 plus times a game, like Brown did on last Sunday, if they do that consistently, they're going to wear down faster. But now you've got these two guys here together that can split the carries, absorb some of those hits. So solid trade there for the Bengals. Something I was going to say about that the Tre'Davious White trade is, I really hope he can stay healthy. But I think if you're the Ravens, you should have. I would have liked you to try to target the guy that has less injury problems.
Yeah.
Right now, because that's the biggest glaring weakness with your team is that people can just pass on you, and there's some pretty substantial breakdowns.
That's why I didn't kind of get why the Commanders traded for a lot of. This is a free year. For the Commanders, you're not winning this season. Why can't you?
They might feel like they do.
You could have made.
I think they feel like they do. That's why they did. Because that's not like.
I agree with you. It's like I don't know if I don't know if they're really gonna.
You're playing for more than just this year, next year, and is Lattimore going to be the guy that you're going to see? 5 years down the road,
because he is starting to get up there.
It's a young man. DB is a young man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's 28. That's pretty old for a DB.
Let's think of Jalen Ramsey. I mean, couple 4 or 5 years ago, that was the cream of the crop. Everyone wanted that guy. Do you even know what team he's on now?
Right. I think he's still in Miami.
Yeah, he's on Miami.
Yeah, he had a pick.
That's true. I was just seeing, but it's like, I mean,
he's definitely disappeared.
You don't really hear. Yeah, I mean, he's not. So. Like Lattimore, I feel like he's still good right now.
There's meat
but
on the bone.
He's really close to being like that, where he kind of fades off of being an elite cornerback. Where he's like, he's still a solid, veteran guy to have back there, but he is not going to be a number one for you, and he might be a bit of a cap hit.
If Baltimore got him, dude, you can
that's what I mean.
Wrap it up now.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, dude,
I would have been probably.
I wonder if they weren't involved in that trade conversation, but probably
it was Chiefs and Commanders were the top two that were headbutting at the end. Those were the last two offers that we were going with. I'm so glad we didn't go to the Chiefs.
I'm surprised.
You're welcome, HG.
I'm surprised
You're welcome.
Newsom didn't get traded from.
I do like Trey White. I hope he can stay healthy. I do think he'll be a much needed boost to that Baltimore secondary. But I mean, his problem has been staying on the field the past couple of years. We got to talk a little bit about the F- trade of the trade deadline. And shout out to our number one fan, Sabrina. What are your Cowboys doing? I mean, why are we trading for the Panthers wide receiver 5? Why are we giving up a 4th? Why are we trading for a wide receiver?
They gave up a 4th round draft pick for that kid?
For Jonathan Mingo. Your season's over. Dak's going to miss multiple weeks with a hamstring. The guy, you have absolutely no running game. You're you're 3 games behind the second place team in Philadelphia, 4 games behind the first place Commanders. They don't even have confidence in Trey Lance to start. I think they're going to go with Cooper Rush. That's so that's another guy that you traded for and gave up draft value. That's not even going to see the field.
Sabrina's not a Broncos fan?
She is too, but she's got the split loyalty. She's got family from Texas.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Wow. All right.
How do you boys feel about the Steelers getting Mike Williams and Preston Smith?
Yeah, I was gonna say, addition through subtraction for the Green Bay Packers. There, that was a guy taking up a lot of snaps. We drafted some young players at that edge rusher position. Preston Smith, not much of a factor on the other side of Rashawn Gary.
Yeah,
Rashawn Gary's production has plummeted this season. I think you got to have another threat. So he's not the only one getting double chipped with a running back, tight end, and a left tackle. Because they were throwing waves at Rashawn Gary. The Detroit Lions were. Every time Monty was going out, if he wasn't running the ball, he was chipping Rashawn Gary.
Just running through the gauntlet.
So, and that's a tough guy. Like that guy's a load to be hitting you every single play. So it's like, hey, we moved Preston Smith. You get the free shout out, dude. This guy was my team is not aggressive in free agency. Going back 5 years ago when we got Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, shout out Smith brothers, completely revamped our defensive line, overnight overhaul. Now we actually had a legitimate threat after Clay Matthews left, rushing the passer. Mm-hmm. This dude only missed 1 game in 6 seasons for us.
Dang.
1 game, caveman.
Iron Man.
War dog, dude.
All right.
War dog. Stopping the run in a 3-4 defense with an ancient ideology in Joe Barry's defense. Out there getting after it, dude. He had 8.5 sacks last season. This season, 33 years old. You see the drop off. We have Lucas Van Ness, first-round draft pick from a couple years ago. He only has been on the field at most 13 snaps this season. I think that's a threat because we're going to be able to kick him inside, move him outside. I think it's addition through subtraction, and it's somebody else for the Pittsburgh Steelers to try to stop that vaunted Baltimore Ravens run game.
Oh, there's a little fun fact about Lucas Van Ness that I just found out the other day. He's dating Cole Kmet's sister.
Is he really? He's tagging it? Oh, Packers come out of the bye week.
There we go.
Against the Bears.
Packers, Bears
we're going to drop 40 on the freaking Chicago Bears. Get right. Another bye week for the Packers after the bye week, for sure.
You guys got 2 in a row. It's messed up.
Dude,
man.
It's beautiful.
That's
great.
Family gatherings got to be a little awkward,
Gosh, dude, I need it. Yeah, that's
so. I just had to share that little fun fact. I thought you boys would appreciate that
fun fact.
But I think this is a good situation for Preston Smith to go to. I mean, it's depth and situational pass rush for the Steelers. Yeah, I mean, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith are probably going to do. Cam Hayward. They're probably going to do most of the pass rushing. But you know what? Might be nice to. You know what's scary is the fact that the Steelers could give TJ Watt a breather every now and again instead of this guy playing like 99% of your defensive snaps. Oh, that's a little.
He plays
concerning.
on the right side.
Yeah,
he's a strong side defensive end, 3-4 outside linebacker.
So, yeah, I mean that's a good veteran rotational defensive piece to an already vaunted pass
team
rush.
Captain too.
Yeah,
I think that's an important part. Team captain. He's not going to come in that building, and start ruffling feathers. He's going to be a guy that's like, let's go win.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we traded him. I would have been very upset.
Worked out for the Packers.
I'm
too.
very upset. I would have been pissed if we traded him like the Panthers or the freaking no offense, man, the Saint. Like, what are we like War Dog, team captain, probably going to be in the Packer Hall of Fame one day. Fans love him, fan favorite. You trade him to a garbage team with no chance to win late in his career.
Yeah,
at least we're going to give him a chance to win. They're going to be a playoff team this year. So, at least you're going to be on the bus with a chance to go to that AFC Championship game. Give yourself a shot.
And they got Mike Williams. I think it might honestly be kind of solid.
Did you guys see that Aaron Rodgers was live on McAfee when they made that trade?
Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious, dude. You got to go back and watch.
I got to go find it.
You saw his face, like he knew.
And they were asking him about it. He's like, "Yeah, he's a great player."
He totally changed the subject.
Sometimes a new
just
new
he just blew right over it.
So Aaron Rodgers traded him.
Rodgers, we after that drop on our shout out Clock Tower Grill and in Lone Tree after he had that drop where Aaron Rodgers threw him outside when he was inside and then blamed him,
He said he ran the wrong route
Yeah,
when
sure,
on an
but,
interception. Rodgers threw.
sure.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
45 seconds and you were looking right at the guy.
Yep.
You could have hit him.
Yep.
I like this for the Steelers though.
Yeah.
With Russell Wilson being your quarterback, I mean, think about all the deep balls him and Cortland Sutton connected on last year. Mike Williams is kind of similar, a
George Pickens is a
run
threat
straight
now.
and go up and get
That's
it, guys.
awesome.
So now you got, another option there with Pickens, who can kind of run the entire route tree and cover the whole field. Now Russell Wilson loves throwing it deep, and you got a big, what Williams? He's like what 6'6",
Big guy,
6'5" or something. I don't remember the exact height. He's a big dude that just can go up and get the ball.
6'4", 218.
6'4", 218. Yeah, like
He's
he's just
still
big
a
body
freak
guy.
Dude.
He's a jump
body
ball,
guy.
go up and get the guy, which is going to work well for Russell Wilson. Just another solid weapon for him. The Steelers, man, they're pretty good. They are pretty good.
Definitely watch out for
It's
him.
gonna be interesting to see how this season pans out for them. I mean, I really underestimated. I thought there's just no way that Mike Tomlin can keep this success with, these two quarterbacks that were disasters other places. He just keeps finding a way.
Keep going, man.
To keep this team competitive.
Football guy.
Yep. Big football guy there.
I don't understand why teams nuke it. Like when Carolina Panthers, got their new ownership, whatever, they started hiring these clowns. Like there's just these organizations that just step on their feet. Like you're getting a guy who's just like convincing you on a whiteboard through drawn up plays that he knows football. And then you get on the football field and you're seeing, oh, this guy actually has no idea how football works. I mean, we've seen it with Brian Dable. Oh my gosh, he can drop all these plays. He revitalized Josh Allen's career. And then he gets on the football field and it's like, actually, this guy has had absolutely no idea what football is. No idea. How
come we couldn't revitalize Daniel?
What is happening? How come a rookie is playing better? I understand he was injured there, Saquon Barkley. How you're not even trying to give a rookie running back an opportunity to like be success. You're running with like one of the worst offensive lines in the NFC, and this guy's like flashing. But when you had Saquon Barkley, you weren't utilizing him. So you're not trying to utilize him. You're trying to have Daniel Jones throw the ball all over the place. That obviously isn't going to work.
Yeah, you're seeing
Saquon
just
now you're seeing teams
flourish.
load the box, and this kid's still working.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are so inept. The Chicago Bears, prime example. Oh, this is a football guy. Is he? Because he came from Indy? What's Indy doing?
Not a whole lot.
Who convinced you that some of these guys I don't get? And then like Mike Tomlin just gets railroaded in media, just overlooked, sand kicked on him. Well, he's only going to go 500. He has absolutely no talent before, like outside of TJ Watt, when they were just, they had like, what was that dude? Duck Swanson, whatever, Duck Hodges. When what's his name got his helmet taken off and hit by Myles Garrett, they had a quarterback carousel. He's having Mitch Trubisky as his quarterback. No talent on the outside. George Pickens is just a rookie, and all you have is TJ Watt, really. This is before you even had Minka Fitzpatrick, and they're still winning 9-10 games. How is Mike Tomlin? Like, to me, he's always been like, I would sell Ford Automotive Company to like go get a guy like that. Like, if you didn't get Dan Campbell, like, last year, especially when, like, hey, like, I don't know how Mike Tomlin's going to be. That is one guy I would trade the entire Green Bay Packers organization to. Like, fans be damned. I go get Mike Tomlin. Because
like
you're going to get Mike Tomlin,
the
and then
league.
you're going to start answering questions later.
That's the best coach in the league. Right now.
Like,
one of. I got him top 5.
And he gets
With Harbaugh
treated
in
pretty
that
unfairly because it's like he'll just year after year just take these dog crap teams to the playoffs.
The playoffs.
Where you're like, I mean, come on.
Kenny Pickett as your quarterback?
Right.
You put all other 31 coaches in this position, and maybe
might not win a
two of
game.
them could be 500.
And when he had 3 Hall of Famers, he won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Kind of what you're supposed to do.
Went to deep into the playoffs like every
went
year.
to another Super Bowl. He lost to Aaron Rodgers, and we kind of smoked that defense. But
yeah,
I mean, you go to 3 Super Bowls, win 2. I mean, I guess that's all right.
No, it's not too bad.
I'll take 2 Super Bowl championship any day of the week.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
So, but yeah, then he'll, there'll be a playoff loss or something, and that's all the rumor mills like, should Mike Tomlin be fired? Like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Why don't you give Mike Tomlin a team?
The owner will sell the Heinz Ketchup Company before he gets rid of Mike Tomlin, dude. They're not stupid in Pittsburgh.
All the steel production in Pittsburgh will be sold before Mike Tomlin leaves.
Yeah.
We'll give him Cat's Deli before we give him Mike Tomlin.
Philly will get rid of the cheesesteak before that man leaves Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There's no way.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin, he's got himself a ball club this year. Like, Steelers are dangerous.
Top 5 seed.
Yeah.
I'd bet one of the best divisions in football.
I think they could definitely win the North. I think that's
Bengals
within
not
the
done.
possibility.
Bengals, Steelers, Ravens. Oh my.
Dude,
we're going to be here for it.
Fear the North.
Fear the
North is nasty.
AFC North
AFC
and
NFC.
Fear the North, boys. We have that much more coming up until the final whistle on Military Broadcast Radio. Sorry, Caveman, that the Saints are a joke. We'll be right back.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice can cut right through the crowd. Got make fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches. God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is One More Try. I put too much stock in bad advice. 'Cause anything worth leaving is worth loving twice. You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is Get Knocked Down. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. Keep moving even when it gets rough. I've given so much, but I ain't giving up. Miracles out of
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
We are back. We are live. Military Broadcast Radio till the final whistle.
What up?
Before we cover the MLB, can we play my sad
have-
Marshawn Lattimore edit?
We have a Marshawn Lattimore send-off for Caveman, and it's a sad day over here. It is election day. It is trade deadline Wednesday, and Marshawn Lattimore, thank you for your service for the New Orleans Saints.
Eagles have all 3 timeouts. 2nd down and 8. Quick throw is picked off. Marshawn Lattimore read it, and a pick 6 in his first game back.
If you could return, don't let it burn, don't let it fade. I'm sure I'm not being rude, but it's just your attitude, and it's tearing me apart, and it's ruining every day.
But the clock's at 0. Miss the extra point. To get this off with a 2-minute warning. A little surprise. Folds back, throws. Intercepted. Went right through Jeffrey's hands. It's Lattimore.
That last one to win the divisional.
Moment of silence for Marshawn Lattimore.
That was the game before the no-call PI.
Oh, that's right. Rest in peace, Marshawn Lattimore.
You will be.
Have fun in Washington. It might be getting pretty crazy.
The
in
grass is
DC,
greener,
but
a little bit more alive over there in Washington.
you can watch some touchdowns get scored while you're watching the offense play.
I guess if Washington does feel like they have a serious shot to, go far this year, you gotta be kind of worried with how their pass defense has looked against some teams. And then you got to play the Eagles twice still, and AJ Brown, Devontae Smith,
pretty tough.
Kind of been balling recent weeks, and they're back and healthy.
Yep.
Marshawn Lattimore should help with that though.
Definitely.
All right.
So going to rotating off of the NFL for a second, we're gonna take a look back at the World Series. Yankees 5th inning disaster really spelled it for the Yankees. They were up 5-0 in Game 5 with a chance to extend the World Series, and then baseball gods have a way of just humiliating you in the simplest of fashion. Routine fly ball, Gold Glove winning Aaron Judge, $300 million superhero Aaron Judge. All those home runs. What do they matter? They don't.
Difference.
They don't. Baseball doesn't care. When
He
I
only
say
had one in the postseason.
I've gotten into verbal confrontations with people when I tell them 70 home runs, 50 home runs, 200. I watched Barry Bonds launch balls into McCovey Cove. If you cannot play defense, you will not win the World Series. If you cannot pitch, you will not win the World Series. What was Yankees' disaster? Pitching, defense. Let's check out this video.
Point would be 3-2. With a heating up Judge, who settles under this ball, but then drops it. Can Hernandez get to the bag before the throw? He does. On a routine play, Aaron Judge just flubs it in center field, and the Dodgers catch a huge break right there. Smith, Garrett Cole throws, and a ground ball left side. Volpe will go to third, and the third, and another break for LA. There's going to be a tough play, but one the Yankees should make, and the bases are loaded. 2 defensive mishaps for New York. Ground ball right side. Rizzo. Nobody at first. Incredible. Atrocious defense from the Yankees, leading directly to a Dodger run in the 5th. A run is crossed. Freddie Freeman on 1-2. Into center field, a base hit. 2 more runs will score. The Dodgers take advantage of the bad defense from New York, and this game has changed in the blink of an eye. And guess who? It's Freddie Freeman right in the middle of it. The 1-2 pitch to Teoscar Hernandez. In the air to left center field. Judge on the run. Dead sprint now to the track, and it's over his head. That's in to score. Freddie Freeman for the plate, and this game has been turned upside down. The Yankees crack the door open with the poor defense.
Aaron Rodgers.
The 3 Aarons curse.
3 Aarons. Curse up 3 Aarons.
There's 5 things you can do in baseball, boys. You can hit, you can run, you can throw, you can catch, and you can boot fly balls to extend World Series games that absolutely demoralize your team.
Yeah.
Instead of runner on first, 2 outs, you got to catch the ball. You got to throw the ball, and you got to make sound defensive plays when they happen. And when you don't do that, you lose.
I feel like this kind of encapsulated a lot of the Yankees season, where there was just a lot of moments like this where you're like, this is such a stacked team, and then they just have these meltdowns at some of the
$1 billion
times.
roster versus $1 billion roster.
Yeah.
MLB got it. They finally got it. And the baseball, piss poor.
Seriously.
Honestly.
If it wasn't for Freddie Freeman, LA Dodgers look awful too.
Yeah.
Honestly. I can't carry them through that. What was it?
Carried. He was the World Series MVP.
Like, he had like 12 RBIs, 4 homers.
Yeah.
What was his batting average? It was like 357 or something.
It was insane.
Yeah,
Whatever
it
it was, really good batting average in the World Series. But
very well deserved.
Definitely well reserved World Series MVP.
I mean,
Freddie Freeman.
Like if you're the Yankees, like this game should have been going great for you. You're up 5-0. I mean, the Dodgers were going all over their bullpen. They just could not figure it out with the pitching. They had 8 guys pitch that night.
And that was their strength going into the World Series, was their bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
It's why Jimmy Covers picked them. I'm like, oh, man, Dodgers bullpen, like a 9 ERA on average. I'm like, man, that's going to be tough against his lineup.
They had the edge, for sure. They should have won.
They should have won.
Garrett Cole was pitching really good until that 5th inning, too. And then
they just re-signed him to he opted out of his contract, opted back in for 4 years, $145 million.
Dang.
Why, New York Yankees? Why?
There we go. We said it before. It's all guaranteed.
If you
had that 5th
if
inning,
you can't get 200 freaking innings out of a 4.5 ERA guy, out of like a guy from the draft, I don't know what you're doing. It's not hard to replace a guy like Garrett Cole. Everybody tunnels the ball now, so every pitch looks the same out of the hand. We're back in the 80s and 90s. It was different with arming. Now it's all tunneling. So you're throwing the same, slot, the same pitch. So out of the release of the hand, it's all the same. Garrett Cole, kind of one of those innovators. Now high school kids do it. The philosophy needs to change if you're the New York Yankees. Talent obviously doesn't equal like what you're paying these guys for what you're getting out of them.
Right. I mean,
he's been there 7 years now, and this is his first time really pitching good in the postseason.
Oh yeah.
So what are we talking about?
What are we doing?
Imagine they played the Mets.
That's the thing.
Imagine they played the Mets. They would have got destroyed. I feel like the Mets. That would have been like 12-10 games.
That would have been high-scoring games for sure.
It would have been like 12-10, and the Yankees would have lost every
World Series
game.
No, Francisco Lindor would have.
It would have been
for sure.
Rough shot over that bullpen, dude. That's a guy that, like, when your bullpen comes in, Francisco Lindor tightens his cleats up a little bit. Like, uh-oh. That's not who you want your bullpen guy. MVP Francisco Lindor. Almost 2-time. Almost did a Frank Robinson where he was an MVP in the American League, goes to the National League. Obviously, outside of Ohtani, his numbers this year, I think he finished 3rd in the voting in the National League for MVP. Francisco
Who was above
Lindor.
him?
I believe it was
because I know Ohtani won it, but
Ohtani. I believe it was Ohtani, and then I'd have to look. I think what's his name from the Padres, man, freaking.
Oh, Fernando Tatis. Jr.?
No,
Manny
my other
Machado?
guy, Manny Machado, brother. Yeah, Manny Machado. Yeah, I'd have to look it up though, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to stick too long on.
Here's Freeman's stats in the World Series before we move on. So batting average, he's hitting a 300, 6 hits,
that's amazing.
4 home runs on 6 hits, 12 RBIs, 5 runs scored
12
in 5
RBIs.
games.
Yeah, that's MVP.
So he set a World Series record with those 12 RBIs.
Yep.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so for the Dodgers, it's like, wow, we won the World Series, and this might not even be the best version
was a
of this
free
team
year.
that we could have.
Otani's not even pitching yet.
Right? Yeah, like this was you're playing with house money here. I mean, this was it was. Let's just see how far this team goes.
You lost your Hall of Fame pitcher, Clayton Kershaw, to injury before the playoffs started. You lost Garrett Stone, like one of your solid starters before the playoffs started in Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Best case scenario for the Dodgers.
Best case scenario for the Dodgers. They'll be aggressive in free agency again.
They should.
They are.
They should only get better from here, which
Right.
is the scary
The
part.
scariest thing.
And then if you're the Yankees, I mean, it's like there's so many question marks. Like, what's going to happen with Soto?
There's no way you can roll into next season with Gleyber Torres on your roster.
Not at all.
You had
Not at
two.
all.
Exactly.
You had four guys outside of Chisholm, Judge. I mean, you're losing Juan Soto, unless you bring him back for $700 million. But why would you do that? He proved nothing to you in the playoffs.
Well,
yeah, he wants $700 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, he was probably their best hitter down the stretch in the playoffs. I mean, he had that. He was great against the Guardians.
Yeah,
got them going in the World Series, but
yeah, I just don't know. $700 million, dude.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's
9
like
players better than that.
It's
an entire
his outfield.
The Chicago White Sox
that
entire
crazy.
freaking payroll is $95 million. You can get an entire team for well over Yankees. Your philosophy back in the day when the Yankees were the Yankees was draft and develop. They drafted 4 Hall of Famers not named Derek Jeter before Derek Jeter in the 17th round or later. Andy Pettit was a 35th round pitcher. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Jorge Posada wasn't drafted, and you signed him as an international signee, and his rookie year was with Derek Jeter. I mean, when the Yankees were the Yankees, they were drafting, they were developing, and then they were paying their players elite money because you drafted them and you wanted to keep them. And because they're freaking Hall of Fame players at their position.
It's like, why get away from your roots? Why?
And then you would go out and add that piece, that Roger Clemens, that next guy, Mariano Rivera. Not a lot of people realize this. Yankees didn't draft him. Miami Marlins did. Yankees traded for him. So, like, you go out and you get the guy. Mariano Rivera used to be a starter. Yankees smart, drafting and developing, the developing part being key. They moved him to closer, taught him a cutter, and the rest is history. Okay. Why you're going to go out and just keep Juan Soto for $700 million when I think you can go out and get an entire college team that will play better than what you just played down the stretch?
Yeah.
Clearly, especially with Baltimore being young, you got so many young teams in the American League, it's going to be difficult.
I mean, clearly the experiment it didn't work. Where there were a lot of flashy moments, and sure, like Soto, he took over some games in the postseason, but ultimately, like when it came down to it, like in the biggest moments, there was a collapse, and I don't know.
Look at Kike Hernandez for the Dodgers. Absolutely played 4 different defensive positions. Did you see the Dodgers making defensive errors?
Nope.
Yankees had runners on base. They just didn't move him over. They didn't get him in, or the defense for the Dodgers didn't allow them to move on the base paths. Move 90 feet from second to third on an infield bobble, not catching the ball in game 1, tying the game up with a routine fly ball to center field, tie the game up at 2. That's another win right there. You don't blow it in the 5th inning. This is a completely different, just off of defense. So Soto, that's great. Your offensive numbers, fantastic. But we didn't lose the game because of offense. We lost the game because of defense. And your bullpen had a meltdown. In game 2. I mean, they just got steamrolled. So, that game was over in the 5th. That was bad.
Yeah.
So, World Series a week ago, it was our first show after the World Series, so we wanted to
cover it.
Got to cover it. Just because that 5th
anyone
inning was
missed.
absolutely insane. As soon as that 5th inning was over, I stopped watching that game because I already knew. And then I turned it on to the 9th because I love watching the last 3 outs. And then to dog pile at, home plate or the pitching mound, depending on who's hitting and who's up and who's not. But moving on, boys. Moving on. We're gonna move on.
Congrats to the Dodgers.
Congrats to the Dodgers.
Season.
They'll probably be back. They're not going nowhere.
Yeah, they're probably
Jimmy Covers will be here for it in February to give you all the futures. None of our futures hit this year, by the way. So we went 0-4 in that, which is a sad day. But we'll be back for it, boys. We will.
Back with a vengeance.
But we are back in the NBA, just kicking off really. First 7, 8, 9 games really.
Yeah,
in the NBA season, young NBA
8
season.
weeks in.
We got a couple plays here. Donovan Mitchell, is he back, boys?
I don't think he ever left, man.
are
I don't think his thing
killing
was injuries, really.
Yeah, I was trying to say healthy, but like when he's healthy, one of the best point guards in the league, in my opinion.
easily.
Dude's a ball. I was a big fan of Mitchell. I didn't really like him because he's with the Jazz and always played the Nuggets a lot. I'm glad he's in the East and I can just appreciate him
Yeah, we
balling
can just
out.
watch him.
Dude, he's got his Cavs. They're 8-0 right now.
Yeah,
Hot start to
Darius
the
Garland, my guy.
Dude,
Shout
Garland's
out Vanderbilt.
balling. He had like a 35-37 on Monday night.
Yeah.
He was just, I forgot who they played, but he was just cooking them.
They played the Bucks.
His average point
the
total on
Bucks.
player props have been 20.5 points. Yeah. He's flown over that in every single game.
Yeah. He's been balling this year. I mean, that's actually a real solid team there in Cleveland. You got Mobley.
I like their coach too.
Oh, what's his name?
I keep forgetting his name, but he's solid as Sears, man.
Dang.
I can't remember his name.
Tyronn Lue, but that's not it.
No, you're gonna look it up and you're gonna see it, and it's
dang.
He's a good coach. But we got Donovan Mitchell with a game winner.
Oh yeah,
back to his
see this
roots.
one.
Let's watch this clip.
Mitchell now works on Trent. Lost it momentarily. Recaptures 3 seconds left. Mitchell for the win. Yay! Knocks it down. Donovan Mitchell gathered himself. He drills the shot late in the ball game.
I don't have a lot
They
of
gotta be
confidence in them.
sellers.
1-6 right
They
now.
gotta be sellers, I would think.
And you know who's on that list? Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Interesting.
He's not on there.
They just re-signed him to a super bag too.
Yeah, he won't be a free agent until he's 32.
You traded a lot for Damian Lillard.
Don't they still have Middleton, or did he go?
They got Chris Middleton.
Oh man,
Bobby Portis is still there, I believe, too.
old crazy
Still
ass.
got Lopez,
Yeah.
Brooke Lopez.
It's just, I don't know. It's just not putting. I don't know. They were like, hey,
East
man.
is weak too, so it's like they're not really out of it.
They saw Doc Rivers never really be able to.
Yeah.
He would take teams to the postseason, but then just have complete meltdowns with them. With the
paired up with
Sixers,
Darvin
the
Ham.
Clippers. Then they were like, well, let's take him. And then Darvin Ham was just absolutely atrocious. He got run out of LA as well. Let's put these guys together. This should
pair them up.
Yeah, this should be a great
Two
combination.
of LA's worst coaches.
I mean,
let's do it.
I know it's early in the season, but just the difference between Darvin Ham and JJ Redick is like night and day, bro.
Oh,
You
yeah.
And they ran off Mike Budenholzer over there too. Great coach.
They should not. I don't think they should have gotten rid of Buden.
No, they
Budenholzer,
shouldn't have gotten rid
Great
of him.
coach.
Really solid coach. That screwed him over getting rid of Mike.
They fired him because
Giannis.
the Heat upset them
It was
in the
Giannis.
first round.
Giannis didn't like him. Let's just call a spade
Yeah.
a spade.
I mean,
Giannis
could
walking
be.
away from him after timeouts. You remember that?
Yeah.
When he had a timeout, he's drawn up a play and he asked Giannis and he just went over, put his towel over his head. These new guys, dude. In the 90s, Giannis is still in Greece selling CDs. He's not. Go back home. Like, you do that, dude, you're gonna get punched in the face. We need guys like T-Mac back in the league, where like elite level players, and like you show off like that, you get punched in the mouth. Dave Robinson smacked up Tim Duncan. Let him know early. This is what we do. Where's the accountability from your star player now, from the bench guys that like help boost that star player's role within, so they don't run off and do that
Yeah.
and get coached.
You see, there's
and
too
have
many
1 and
div-
7 starts in like the Eastern. What
There's
is
too many divas. No, they should never have fired Budenholzer, man.
No.
Yeah, you have one, shocking series where the Heat upset you. I mean, Jimmy Butler just was like playing on a different level that entire playoff run. And then
Was that in the bubble? No,
No. That was the year the Nuggets won the championship.
Oh,
because it was a shocking round one defeat. I mean, the
That's
Bucks
right.
they were rolling through the season. They were huge favorites,
they're the 1 seed.
and
the
then
1 seed. That's right.
and then the Heat gentlemen swept them in the first round. Yeah. And I mean that like
The Heat
Heat were-
upset everybody
yeah,
that
they-
year.
Yeah,
So I don't
Jimmy
understand
Butler was
why.
just on one, dude. He was like,
Dude.
I don't know.
Like,
'Cause it
we're
was-
lucky that Bam is not just a little bit taller to match up a little better with Jokic, or
Mhm.
we would have been screwed. Nuggets don't win that.
I mean,
anymore.
I think we still.
He
we were having like a generational run of the season right there.
Jimmy Butler had to have been clapping up, Christina Pinkett on the sideline before every game because Jimmy was just going out there and doing everything on his own. Him and Doris Burke had to have been getting it on before the game or something. I don't know.
He was doing good until
he went off and was showing out, dude.
Man,
I mean, he was doing good until he ran into Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon
yeah,
locked him up.
Yeah, that's a different matchup altogether. The Nuggets.
It's just like the Bucks they're just too gung ho and firing their coaches too. Because Adrian Griffin starts the season.
Yeah,
what was it, 30-13, number one seed in the East, and
they were the best team in the East, and they just fired their coach.
They're like, yeah, get out of here.
Season.
Yeah. They're like, you're gone. And then they brought in Doc Rivers, and I'm like, man.
And then they got worse. They got considerably worse.
Spray on hair.
Yeah.
You can't hire a guy with spray on. You're bald. This is what you are.
Try out orange.
And
try orange spray.
They bring in Doc Rivers, and this team just stumbles even harder, and they drop to the 3rd seed. And again, another gentleman's sweep, not very competitive against the Pacers. And you're like, so you're gonna fire Budenholzer after, okay, a little stumble after being the number 1 seed. You might have came in and you got shocked. Let the guys learn from that. He's still a great coach. No, we're firing him. Oh, this new guy starts 30-13, but the defense is struggling a little bit. Okay, we're gonna fire him. But then Doc Rivers chokes away, your
getting
1
rid
seed.
of Drew Holiday paid more dividends last year, I think, than what the Milwaukee Bucks were ready to realize.
Well, I mean, you look at what he did with the Celtics.
Yeah,
I mean, they just
that was the guy that people were saying a couple years ago when the Milwaukee Bucks got Drew Holiday, won a finals, with him. They were like, hey, this is the dude. Even before the Celtics, got him, obviously last year, whatever was his first year there. But when he was a free agent a few years back, Celtics fans were like, hey, we can get rid of this dude. We need to get this guy. They don't get him. Pays dividends when you get a point guard who can guard the perimeter and stop ball action. What everybody's freaking running is ball action at the top of the freaking perimeter now, and get a guy that can stop that. You're just throw a wrench into it with his length and ability to come off pick and roll and guard all the positions.
And then he's the
best perimeter defender.
Gotta be
elite perimeter defender
best perimeter
who
point
can
guard in the NBA.
And then he can just turn it on when they come shooting. Yeah,
he has improved so much. Yeah. It's like he's back on the Pelicans.
And the Celtics and the Bucks
being the number 1 option over there.
Dude, when they had him, they utilize him really well. Where it's we're not running the offense through him, but if we need him to go on a heater, he can just start lighting it up.
I don't understand why free throw percentage for point guards in the NBA is as bad as it is when you have guys like Curry. Dude, Holiday, bet your house on it. 92% free throw shooter. I haven't seen a Bulls point guard make a freaking free throw in 25 years, so I'm not going to go on a rant about that. But Drew Holiday, man, I think I remember he was in the finals last. I think he was 15 of 15 at the free throw line. At one point through 3 games, and I'm like, well, there's your difference. They're making their free throws, and the other team isn't.
He's really efficient, and he's gotten so much better going to the Celtics. Just another team with an amazing organization from top down, making players that are already all-stars even better. It's scary. The Celtics, man.
What else?
That's
is scary?
what sucks for the East.
Point guard to point guard. John Morant, Drew Holiday matchup. NBA Finals this year. Memphis Grizzlies?
We could see it. That would
John
be
Morant.
crazy.
Back. No handguns in the cards this time, boys.
Nope.
Out here going off with a poster. This guy's put more people on posters, I think, for his time in the NBA than possibly anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Made more big threes for as early in his young career as he has.
I love John Morant for that sense where he sees even the slightest opportunity.
He goes
to maybe dunk it. Zero fear. There's a play from last season where the Grizzlies, they had a 3-on-1 and it was just Wemby down there, and nobody took a drive at the rim. Ja would have tried it.
Yeah,
Ja would have tried it.
I think he was suspended 50. To update our viewers, I believe
it was 47
games.
games.
Was suspended 47.
Half of the season, and then he came back for 2 games and got hurt.
got hurt.
Season-ending injury. Yeah.
Season-ending injury.
It was
Basketball
so-
gods, they weren't playing.
No, they
They
were.
took
not.
season from them, bro.
Yeah,
take
they
that.
did.
He had a
told
slice
you-
of humble pie, man. Universe has works in mysterious ways, brother. Let's check out this John Morant poster real quick, boys.
Yeah,
At 67 the count. Morant against McConnell. Pick and roll. Morant. Oh, my word. Holy cow. Morant. Jalen Smith. You have been posterized. Call
like a traffic cone and
Yeah.
just extends for a monstrous dunk, dude. John
Killed him
Morant,
right there.
so athletic, dude. One of the few players that, like, I'm an old head when it comes to basketball. I reference a lot of like 90s and early 2000s guys. John Morant holding it down for one of the young guys, I think, in the NBA right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like if he can stay healthy, man, you got Marcus
No
Smart.
handguns in the card, dude.
Yeah, stay healthy, stay out of trouble. I like Marcus Smart and Jaren Jackson Jr. there. Like those are some elite defenders. Marcus Smart, DPOY, can guard the perimeter pretty well. Jaren Jackson, just a force there in the middle. I like the young guys, Scottie Pippen Jr.,
He's
Gigi
been playing
Jackson.
good, dude.
Like-
They've been playing pretty good.
Well, and like
They've
you know,
been playing pretty good.
they were like when
What's pretty good for this era, though, Gabe, man. Like, I mean,
I don't know when like
Well,
the
at least
whole
just
team was
roll
I've
like
heard Lonzo Ball was good, and he's a triple single guy. He's already hurt again. I don't know.
He's already hurt again. That's
You know, I don't
well,
at least he's not.
Lonzo Ball's one of those guys that I think just gets
I
like
heard Scoot
overhyped.
Henderson was good too coming in the draft. He's like 4 points. You know, who's his number 1 overall pick from last year?
Alex Sarr.
Yeah,
He's
who the
on
heck is
the
that?
Wizards.
What's he doing?
No, it's Zachary Rishashar.
Oh yeah,
on the
Risa
Hawks.
Shea on the.
Sar's the
Sarr.
Sar's on the Wizards.
Sarr
The
though.
guy on the Wizards. That's what
It wasn't a very strong draft class this year.
No.
the
It was
Bulls
a
played the
terrible
Wizards at the
draft
beginning.
class.
I was like, they had him. Everybody started cheering him in Washington, and I was like, watched him play, and I'm like, bro, he just stands there.
Alex Sarr isn't even he's not who you should even watch on the Wizards. Watch Keyshawn George and Bub Carrington. They bring
There
the
you go.
freaking energy.
They still got
man.
Kuzma over there.
Yeah, they
Let's
unfortunately still have Kyle
Kuz
Kuzma,
and Jordan Poole's still there
but
too.
Keyshawn George and Bub Carrington
Poole from
will
the
give it to
Lakers?
you.
No, Jordan Poole was
From
on the Warriors for a while.
The Draymond Green
Oh,
guy.
that's right.
They
that's
got punched by Draymond, and
right.
that was,
Oh yeah,
that was the end of it.
You're out. You're
You
out.
know, all right. I'm looking at some of the standings here in the West. OKC 7-0 leading it. That's no surprise, man. That's right after the early NBA season. That's my pick to win the finals right there. I mean,
Who's that?
OKC.
You got OKC to win the finals.
Right. This is
That's
my
it.
early
I like
prediction
it.
right
Early
now.
prediction.
I like it.
From everything I've seen, I mean, like,
I
and
like
here's the
it,
thing:
Mercury.
Hartenstein hasn't even been healthy, so we're
Nope.
not even seeing him
We
at
haven't
full
even seen a
strength.
full
Dude,
Thunder yet.
Chet is on a heater.
I seen he's on a
SG
heater, brother.
Dude, SGA still
heard about
putting up
that.
those like MVP type numbers.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso is fitting like a glove there in the defensive scheme.
Yeah.
Obviously Jaden Williams, young star in the making, just still balling out. Yeah, and then Hartenstein's gonna get there. That's just gonna add another element of perimeter. I mean, a paint defense right there. They're good. OKC's really
They're
good.
very
I think
good.
from everything we've seen right now, you got to say OKC's
7-0.
favorites.
OKC.
The Warriors, very surprising to me, at least 6-1. Steph Curry hasn't even
Haven't
been
been
healthy
playing
all that
bad.
time.
Phoenix
and
6-1.
yeah, the Suns.
I
Yeah.
gotta talk about the Suns here in a second once
They
we go over these
Kind of
rankings.
kind of sold their souls for Bradley Beal, Booker, and Kevin Durant. Right now, it's looking good. But we saw in the postseason, I mean, that was
we
not
got
a
more depth this
sustainable
year.
lineup.
They got
Yeah,
more
who plays?
depth for
Yeah,
sure.
they got traffic cones on defense over there, bro. Like nobody's in a rebound.
Yeah.
Damn sure ain't gonna be KD.
Oh my god! Like Anthony Edwards just
Solid
ran
Through them.
and then they were. I mean, like it was like one of those guys could kind of go off on the night, but like you came up against a team like Minnesota that was just so intense
Outmatched.
defensively. They just locked them. You know, they're cool letting one guy do all the scoring and locking up the other two.
That was my thing about that series, Mercury. When I was like, okay, everybody thinks KD's the guy, right? Oh, Booker's good. Booker's the guy. And then we watched Anthony Edwards against those two guys on the same. They weren't even playing the same game. Everybody wants to be the guy until they're on the court with the guy, and they're like, "That's the guy.
Mhm.
He's dunking on KD.
That's the dude." Okay, I don't care what you did in Golden State, KD. Riding Curry's coattails to the finals. Don't care. Booker, oh my gosh, you're banging a Kardashian. Good for you. Dude, congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Way to go.
Good job.
Good for you, man.
But we all know how that works out.
That's about it.
We all know how
Okay.
that works out.
Popularity does not equal talent. Oh, cool. You score 25 points in an NBA game. Everybody scores 25 points in an NBA game. It's just whose turn is it? Then we watched Anthony Edwards against that team. Rough shot for them, Mercury.
Just tore him up.
Traffic cones for Phoenix. I mean, I think they're on their third head coach, too. They ran what's his name out of town, didn't they? I think that's who the coach is in Cleveland.
Oh.
Well, no, they fired
Monty Williams?
Monty Williams went to the Pistons.
Oh, that's right.
God, who was
right. But he got them to the finals, didn't they? Didn't Phoenix make the
Monty
finals
took
with
him to the
Monty?
final, and then they fired them the year after because
yeah.
they got
KD.
I think it was they got blown out by
KD wanted him out.
Well, no, KD came in after he got fired, if I remember correctly.
He wasn't there on that finals team when they lost.
Or maybe he came.
I think he did. I think he was. I think he was on that.
No, I think they lost to the Nuggets after with Monty after they traded for KD, and then they fired him.
Okay.
I feel like they kept their coach from last year, though. I cannot remember this
so
guy's name for
too.
the life of me. But he's he wasn't it last season. We'll see. I mean, hey, they're off to the 6-1 start right now, but it's early
It's
in
the
NBA
season, boys.
A
It's
team
early
that's
in-
not playing well
so much changes.
is the 76ers. They
Yeah.
are not playing very well.
As
We have a
Embiid's
clip
number
here.
one hater, I'm very happy
Suns
to see
versus
this.
the Sixers.
Let's not play it quite yet.
Okay.
Because I do want to break down a little bit of how this game went down.
Break it down, Mercury or Caveman.
The Sixers were up 113 to 108 with just a few minutes left in this fourth quarter. And they absolutely choked the lead away. They're playing in Phoenix. You got to lead late. And man, you're just getting no production from anyone except for Tyrese Maxey. Like, look at this, Mercury. Their best shooter other than Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry 5 for 8 and Eric Gordon 3 for 6. Paul George is 4 of 14. Caleb Martin was 2 of 6. Andre Drummond 3 of 5. I feel like he's probably be taking more shots if he's going to be down in the paint. Everyone else was missing so much. They just got killed off the glass. Maxey 12 of 22. Oubre 4 of 10. Mind you, Monday was Tyrese Maxey's birthday. He dropped 32 points, and the 76ers had a chance to tie up this game or win it in the last few minutes. And Paul George is taking the last shot. Like, I'm sorry now. This is Tyrese Maxey's team. This isn't Joel Embiid's team. The 76ers are led by Tyrese Maxey. Like, we gotta understand that here now. Got all these injuries from these two guys. Paul George is further in his career. Like, it's time to pass the torch because this is a young guy that's actually playing well. One that's actually very valid of having the torch pass. It's like Jokic coming into the Nuggets. Nobody wanted to give Jokic his flowers at first. Like, oh, this guy's fat, unathletic. His vertical's a pencil.
They drafted him during a Taco Bell commercial.
Dude was underrated, outclassed. Tyrese Maxey was like the 21st pick in the first round.
He was
that year. Was taken under a bunch of people that probably aren't even in the league anymore at this point.
Bulls drafted a dude from Duke, Lendell White or whatever his name was, over him. And I know Bulls fans were like, Maxey, this is the guy you go get. You lost Rose. This is the guy. No, we go.
Maxey in Chicago would have been beautiful for basketball. That would have been amazing.
Cinema.
No, we got Jerry Reinsdorf, owner of the Chicago White Sox, running the show over there.
But
KD played pretty well.
Before the season started, I predicted that
Maxey's team.
Tyrese Maxey could be a dark horse MVP candidate, purely because Embiid and Paul George are going to miss significant time just because those guys can't stay healthy. And I like just looking at his averages on the season. Right now, he's third in points per game, averaging around 30.2. If he can get his rebounding and assist numbers up a bit, because he's only around 3.3 rebounds and 4.3 assists per game. If those numbers bump up, I mean, you can put together a strong case for Tyrese Maxey.
You can get 27-1 right now for a futures ticket for MVP for Tyrese.
The other thing, though, is the Sixers got to start winning games, and they got to start being in contention. You know, they can put up these stats, but if they're, 11th in the East with a losing record, I mean, you have to be a playoff team to win MVP. That's the thing.
Tyrese Maxey went to TC.
And the process is restarting.
I mean, unless you're having like a historic type of season, you usually got to be a top 3, maybe top 4 seed to get it as well.
Yeah, you probably got to be a top 4 seed to win it. Yeah.
But I do wish that the NBA would also add like some sort of like offensive player of the year award or something like the NFL does. Because that's a big issue that we run into with the MVP is that people
it gets redundant.
Yeah, well, and then there was the competition between Luka and Jokic and SGA, and it's like, well, SGA and Jokic had better points because they were the 1-2 seed, whereas Luka was down there at the 4 seed, or ended up being the 5 seed actually. And so it's like, yeah, I mean, when you're thinking MVP, it's like a guy that gets his team into like, that top contention when all those guys' numbers are pretty comparable. But, if you had like an offensive player of the year type of award, that could go to a guy that's putting up crazy numbers. It's just maybe not translating to as much win success on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Good point.
There's not a lot of that happening over in Philly right now.
I'd love to see Jokic win MVP again because I'm a Nuggets fan and I'm biased, but I can understand if people would be tired. And I mean, we got some guys up next. I mean, Luka's.
I think it's SGA's turn or
SGA
maybe
or Luka. Man, it's past due that Luka wins one. Although SGA, he could probably deserve. His
team is going to have the wins.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about SGA though is like a lot of his points come at the free throw line. That kind of annoys me. Like he is a bit of a foul baiter. It's
this era though.
Yeah, not that
everybody does it.
Yeah, not that
Harden
Luka
made
has
an entire career off of it.
Yeah, won an MVP off of it too.
I literally never thought he was a top 5 player ever.
Well, I mean the one MVP season, dude, he like had like it was what was it, like 20, 50-point games or something like that, which is just like unheard of.
Yeah.
But then like you look at the stats in those games, it's like, oh, he shot like
offense. Chuck it and duck it.
He shot like 18 of 24 at the free throw line. Something
he's chucking the ball 55 times. You better score 50 points because you're also shooting 25 free throws a game.
Exactly.
So you're shooting the ball 75 times. I don't know.
And that was the best matchup for the Warriors then. Was just
it really was
throwing up threes.
7 missed threes in a row.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Jesus.
But we got a clip of that Suns Sixers final
here's
minute.
the break. Here's the final few moments of them just absolutely collapsing.
I mean, there's no way you plan for what he's doing.
Durant on the drive, hangs and hits. Martin extends the defense on down Jones. Durant works up high off the elbow, spins to his left. The floater is money.
And then
29 for Kevin Durant. 9 of those have come here in the fourth. 5-minute shot clock. Yabusele hammers it home on a power move. Double team comes. Nurse rolls to the rim and takes him to the boom room. Martin eyes the clock. Now to get the switch. Maxey closing out on the crossover. Durant. Tough elbow fade. KD Trey. Well, we just didn't hear it. Nurk challenging the shot. 7 on the shot clock. Yabusele stepping out. Durant dribble past him with a finger run to the rim.
Yabusele knew he didn't want to give up the 3. Now the Suns need to make them shoot a 2. Okay, they're going to take the quick shot here. They're not going to, unless they're going to run it all the way down, which would be surprising to me. If you want them to tie the game with a 2, not win it with a 3.
George handling the rock. 5 on the clock. Step back inside the stripe. Won't get it. Rebound tapped out. Reload. Maxey. No. Wow. Suns hang on and win it.
That was awful.
Would you be happy as a fan seeing a guy that's shooting 4 for 14, 1 for 7 from 3 start to size up for a game winner.
And dribbling the ball 27 times before he has to shoot it.
They were in Philly. I would have been out of my seat and walking out of the stadium if I saw that. It shows their stats on the Jumbotron. So everybody there knew how much he was missing too.
Yeah.
If I was a Philly fan and was watching him get ready to take that shot, I would have been leaving. I would have been already halfway out of the arena.
Yeah.
By the time he crossed the half court line.
Yeah.
Yabusele was having a better game than Paul George.
Yeah. And he hasn't been in the league in like 5 years. He randomly exploded in the Olympics. And
Good for him. He was on the French team, right?
Yeah, he played for France.
Was he the one that posterized LeBron, or was that somebody else?
It was him.
It was, dude. He just like sent LeBron to the shadow realm.
It was great day for LeBron haters there watching that. But the USA ultimately won the gold.
Yeah, LeBron's got a great PR team because that's already
freaking better, dude.
That's already been scrubbed from the internet.
From the internet, yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to find.
He's part of that Diddy circle, dude. I mean, shady things happen.
Scary stuff.
You see, I know y'all seen him dressed up as in that maid's outfit. That's kind of, I don't know.
That's the funniest.
You're so
picture
alpha,
of
dude.
LeBron.
Like I don't know. I would never do that. I would never sell my soul for something like that. Dude.
No.
I don't care.
Well, that's a little NBA breakdown for
we got
everybody.
plenty more.
Yeah,
NBA Mercury coming up this season. It's gonna be.
Oh, we'll be there with y'all along the way.
It's gonna be. We're
In
gonna try to come up with
tournament,
some unique stuff coming
start-
up for the NBA season with maybe some team builder.
do some interesting team builders. Yeah, for sure. We'll break down, in-season tournaments coming up. There's always going to be controversy around all-star selections. So plenty of discourse on that. And please always feel free to join the conversation. Leave a comment, text, or call in.
Now let us know what you're thinking.
And
is your team balling out, or are they like the Saints?
Bulls, second in their division. I'll just say that.
There we go.
There we go.
Let's go, Chicago.
I do like Colby White, man.
Colby
Dude,
White,
talk about a guy
killer.
who's like worked on his game and came back.
Yeah.
And like being a catalyst for the squad. Like he was just a role player.
Dude, he kind of got robbed
came out.
for most improved. Like I get why you probably
did.
went for like a guy like Maxey who was on a better team.
But what was Maxey was already a dog. He wasn't
Yeah.
improved.
He already was.
He was
improved,
already
yeah.
the guy.
But like Colby White just saw the most significant increase in his like
Dude, he
averages.
went from a 9-point per game average to like 20.
20. I think it was 24.
close.
Like you
It was
saw like him
something
averaging like
insane.
6 more rebounds per game. Like he was averaging nearly 10 assists per game. Yeah, just big jumps. Big jump there. Colby White, Rob. All right, well, we got our pick 'em to get to. We got about half an hour left. We always need plenty of time to do the pick 'em.
Oh, what
Run
a
your
Thursday
pool.
night game.
Buddy, there is some
.com.
intriguing matchups.
What a Thursday night game.
Runyourpool.com till the final whistle.
Yeah. I mean, so
who's in the lead right now, Mercury? I had
I
an
think it's
awful
still
week.
Kyle.
I had
Yeah.
an
I think he's
awful
still
week this
kicking our
last week.
butt.
I'll give the leaderboard rundown real quick. So yeah,
Leaderboard
Kyle,
rundown.
he is unfortunately still in the lead, 86 and 52. I'm closing in on him. All right, closing the gap. I am in second at 80 and 54. Shout out Doug from Bourbon and Ball joined
Shout out
the
Doug.
league. Rogers
Doug.
Revenge is what he goes by. Man's crept up to third place, 76 and 42 or
There you go.
46. You got Caveman. He's back here, tied for third with 76 wins. He does have
I had an
62
awful week.
losses since he's been in the pool a bit longer than Doug. I know nothing, man. Like
Killing
easily the best record in the league, 75 and 31 in fifth place. Jimmy covers a bit of a fall from grace here.
I was the
74.
only one going against the grain this last week too. I could have just
Yeah.
picked all chalk like everybody else did.
Hey, it's getting real. You got
You got to go for some wins, you know. And
Yeah.
I came out of church on Sunday and I thought the Green Bay. I was like, oh yeah, God's shining down on me, dude. Oh my God, it's a holy day, baby.
You thought you felt the Lord speaking to you.
I thought the Packers. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna. And then I saw it was a monsoon and it was like right before kickoff. And I talked to my dad and I was like, why didn't you tell me it was fucking raining? I would have never picked. Sorry, Stokely. I would have never picked the Packers. You know, I'd have picked the Lions. I bet on the Lions. I mean, I won money, so I guess it's like a wash,
It's all
whatever.
right,
but I'd rather have seen my team win.
Seventh place, we got Star 70 and 52. Not to be outdone by I Know Nothing. Carter little bit of a late joiner. He's 65 and 25.
That's pretty good.
Doing pretty good. Overlord Maverick in ninth, 59 and 30 or 52 and 39. Got ODB only.
You bet on all those games for Carter, where you're that much. You could probably buy the Chicago Bears a new stadium.
Yeah.
With all that money.
Oh yeah.
We got ODB 45 and 46, and then the
ODB.
Cheese missed a few weeks, but they're back at it 39 and 20.
Not
So
bad.
that's the leaderboards. You can still join. Yeah, you might be a little behind, but
You can still join.
runyourpool.com
Yeah.
till the final whistle is the name of the pool. Free to join. It's just for fun. Just having a good time and enjoying the game of football together. We got to get into our picks this week. Our boy Kyle, he always got something to say
Shut
when
up,
we make the picks.
What's he got to say this time?
He just says I'm in the lead.
Of course.
Nobody cares.
Of course.
Go back to bed, Kyle.
Yeah, we'll see after this week, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Thursday night, man, we got ourselves
game.
a doozy. Cincinnati
close one
at Baltimore.
Spread is 6 points. Total is 53. I mean, I gotta, after making up from last week, I gotta go Cincy.
I was going to go Cincy too, Jimmy.
I gotta go Cincy. I know everybody. I know Kyle's probably gonna pick chalk, and he's probably gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens. Everybody just picks chalk. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Whoever the favorite is, that's just what everybody picks. It's just what it is. So
it's been working.
It's been working. It's been obviously working.
There's a reason
Carter hasn't picked an upset yet. He's just picked all favorites, and it's been working. But it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I just got to make it up. I got to go Cincy here.
I think
I
so.
think
they can upset, man.
Secondary.
It's a tough matchup for Cincy, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Their
they
defense is
did
awful.
absolutely shred Baltimore defensively last time. I think this is a good sit if you've got the Ravens defense and you can, pick up like a Chicago Bears or like a Los Angeles Chargers defense who've got some better matchups this week. Do that. I don't think the secondary issues for Baltimore are quite worked out just yet. Trey White's got to get some time to get there, get healthy, and get into it before they stop giving up an obscene amount of yards per game. And I think Cincy, they dropped one at home, and I could just see this being like this has happened a couple times in this Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson era where it's like each guy goes into the other dude's stadium, and comes away with a win. It happened a couple years ago where Burrow goes in there on like Sunday night and comes away with a win, and then a few weeks later Lamar marches into Cincinnati, and they just kind of they blew the Bengals out at home. So I can see this being like another one of those situations. These guys seem to like to not beat each other at home, but beat each other on the road. Which I know that's not very football analytical, but sometimes you just got to look at things like that.
Packers have beaten the Lions the last 5 times in Detroit. Lions have beat the Packers the last 5 times in Green Bay. There's just
also
like that.
I think Cincinnati's going to be like a team playing with more desperation.
They got it. This is probably a must-win game.
Yeah,
they dropped to 4-6. Pittsburgh's already 6-2. Baltimore, Pittsburgh's winning the division. So they're fighting for a chance at a playoff spot.
All right. So our next game, this is Germany's final punishment for World War II. We're sending the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers over there to play a football game against each other. This is a coin toss for me.
Let's go Panthers.
That's what I'm doing. Let's go Panthers.
Let's go Panthers.
Let's go against the ground. I'm going to pick the Giants. I think Tyrone Tracy.
Xavier Leggett anytime touchdown too, plus 250.
I think.
Oh, they just lost Mingo.
What's Jimmy? Look up what Tyrone Tracy's over under is for rushing yards.
I can do that, my friend.
I don't know what that is.
Tyrone Tracy.
Giants now.
Let's go to player props.
Jimmy covers on it with the
Tyrone Tracy over. Ooh, kind of a high total, 67.5 rushing yards.
Oh, I'd take that. I think he could have like 200 rushing yards against this awful Panthers run defense. Alvin Kamara had 200.
Giants offensive line, dude.
Scrimmage yards.
I just don't know.
Okay,
do you
think the Saints offensive line is good?
No.
Okay, well, Alvin Kamara had over 200 scrimmage yards against this Panthers defense.
That's a fair point.
I think Tyrone Tracy, he can probably do the same.
I like
All
it.
right. They're letting anything go.
That was funny, brother. That was funny. I like that.
Also,
67.5. That's as high as rushing total so far this season. Looking right around in the high 50s. He's gone over 57.5 rushing yards 3 of his last 5 times. Still just a rookie, so that's pretty good. Considering how bad the Giants have been. This is definitely by far his highest rushing total by 11 yards. So just for that.
Interesting.
Everything's been about in the high 50s from what I'm saying.
Next game, Tampa Bay hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Give me Baker Mayfield, bro.
That's back-to-back tough games for Tampa Bay with no wide receivers, really. I think Evans might be back for that game.
Baker can go in to Kansas City in a monsoon on Monday Night Football with Sterling Shepard as his number 1 option. Keep in mind, Jalen McMillan, their impressive rookie wide receiver, he was also out. He was down as top 3 wide receivers. Yeah, K-Dot, Sterling. Guy sounds like a secret agent from like a B-tier movie studio. Agent Sterling Shepard reporting for duty. Man goes in there and carves up a real good Kansas City defense with not a lot of support from the run game. I'm just going to say it. I don't think the San Francisco is nearly as good defensively as Kansas City is. And
interesting split here. San Francisco minus 240 on the money line, plus 195 on the money line for Tampa Bay at home. Only a 5-point spread. I'd probably take Tampa Bay in the 5 points and sprinkle a little Christmas magic
also
on plus 195, minus 240, plus 195. That's a long split where San Francisco minus 200, Tampa Bay plus 150 would be a little bit tighter. That's kind of an interesting, things. It's a trap line, man. I'd probably go Tampa Bay at home.
That's sketchy.
That's sketchy. When you have a money line that's that far, minus 240, you have to lay $240 to win $100. Obviously, plus 185, you're almost tripling your money. So, plus you get your money back. So you're getting 2-1 essentially on your money, but the spread is only 5 points. So that's less than a touchdown. Something like that, I've seen 8-point spreads, 9-point spreads. When it's minus 240, it's a lot of money to lay for money line winner. That's kind of a sketchy trap line, dude. I probably got to go Tampa Bay 5.5 on that. For Pick'em, I got to go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, give me Tampa Bay.
I'll go Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Let's ride, boys.
They had Kansas City, and San Francisco is just not the team they were last year.
Yeah, you can't go into overtime versus Kansas City and Gate. Just like you're just waiting to get time traveled.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to score a touchdown before the overtime.
Why didn't they go for 2, boys?
Also, this was the best the Buccaneers defense has looked. They couldn't stop Mahomes on 3rd down, but I mean, they got after him. And we see like Purdy, man, when people start getting like the games they've lost, like get some pressure on them, and he has some bad turnovers, So I think that's going to really help. The Buccaneers, not a great start for them defensively this year, but I think they still got a lot of dogs on that defense.
They do.
That's going to start turning it around. All right, next up, Falcons going to New Orleans to play the Saints. I know the Caveman's riding with the Saints. I'm riding with the Falcons.
We gotta tick off.
Stupid.
We gotta tick off Derek Carr. We gotta tick off Derek Carr.
Kirk Cousins
prove Mike Thomas wrong.
Kirk Cousins is absolutely balling out these past few weeks, and now your best cornerback
spread is 3.5.
Is gone.
Our best corner is gone.
Drake London could have like 175 yards this game.
At this point,
there's a good possibility.
3rd string quarterback.
Kyle Pitts could probably be a good start this week.
Somebody that's not starting will have any success against the Saints defense.
Yeah. This Atlanta, clear favorite to win their division against.
They're up 2 games now.
Kind of the bottom feeder in the.
They got the pretty much every team in the division that could have had a chance to compete got completely injured, and the Falcons are going to walk and probably be a really fraudulent playoff team.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, their path to the playoffs got pretty easy.
They're going to get blown out, whoever they play.
Because even if the Bucs and the Saints were competing, the winner of the NFC South is like a 10-win team that's going to get mopped in the first.
Yeah.
That's just how the story goes here.
Guys, our next game, the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs. That game's in Arrowhead. But guess what? I'm going with the Broncos.
Let's go, HG. I like it. If you're riding with your team, just
Plus
like me,
325 if you think
And
the
he-
Denver Broncos.
I have it's a non-football reason why I'm picking the Broncos. So obviously, election happened yesterday.
Okay.
Since the President Nixon was elected in 1972, the Denver Broncos in games immediately following the presidential election are 12-1.
I like it, dude. I like
over
it.
that time period. Their
I
only
like
loss
it.
came during the COVID year, and that was such a screwy all out of.
Kendall
who
Hinton
knows?
was the quarterback that year.
Yeah.
Literally just scrape that out of your memory.
I think it
Broncos
might have
fans,
actually been the
because-
Kendall Hinton game might have actually been the game they lost. I don't remember what day it was, but yeah, I was like, screw a year, COVID year, that hardly even counts. 12-1 following the week of the presidential election at the Denver Broncos. Sometimes you just
Interesting.
you got that's just a sign from the universe. So
You win this game, you set yourself up
Yeah.
primo for the playoffs. Going against Vegas.
another
and you have
another reason I think they have a good chance to beat Kansas City. Look, you just survived a tough game against the Buccaneers. Obviously you're still 8-0, and then you got a big game coming up against the Buffalo Bills. You kind of been you beat up on the Broncos a lot over the past years, and they just got blown out by the Ravens. It's gonna be an easy game for the Chiefs to kind of overlook us coming in here. I mean,
Could be a trap
we got a
game.
tough you got a tough game where they got to go to Buffalo
be a
coming
trap
up.
game.
You think, oh, this could be an easy win against Denver, and here we come and surprise you. So give me the Broncos.
I like the pick, man. I like the confidence. I'm still picking my team after 7 straight losses.
So speaking of the Buffalo
you gotta
Bills,
go with it.
they're going to Indianapolis. I think this is pretty easy. We can say Buffalo here.
Yeah. 4-point favorites, total 46.5. I like that over, and I like the Buffalo Bills -4.
I feel like the Bills defense they're just finding ways to get it done with not a lot with really nobody out there.
Yeah.
I know they kind of gave up a lot of points to the Dolphins last week, but what I like about them is they're forcing some timely turnovers. And that's been, the kind of the bugaboo for the Colts this year, as when they do get stuff going offensively, they turn the ball over.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been the Achilles heel in the horseshoe.
Yeah. Mobile QB like Josh Allen, the triangle of terror is probably not going to affect them as much as it did a guy like Sam Darnold. And I mean, Buffalo's just rolling right now. I think against a lesser opponent like the Colts, hard for them to be, to be on the upset watch. But any given Sunday, you never know.
True.
Game of the week right here, boys.
Pittsburgh,
Washington.
You guys don't think the Arizona Cardinals versus the New York Jets is the game of the week?
I'm so sorry. You're right, Jimmy. My apologies.
No.
I got to go with the Steelers
Detroit,
here.
Houston is sneaky.
That's going to be a good one too. Yeah.
Detroit, Houston's going to be sneaky. I'd probably go for that one, man. That's a really good. Give me the Steelers, brother.
I'm taking the Steelers
I'm
too.
taking the Steelers. I like how they're playing ball.
I do too.
Washington
coming off of a bye.
paper.
Also,
paper tiger.
Mike Tomlin and that Steelers defensive scheme against a rookie quarterback. Feel like they can make some things real difficult on Jaden Daniels.
3-point spread.
Yeah.
45.5 is the total. Pittsburgh +125 on the money line. I like that money line, dude. I absolutely love that money line. You're getting 3 points versus the Washington Commanders. Why can't the Steelers beat the Commanders? TJ Watt could have 5 sacks against Jared Leno Jr., ex-Chicago Bear. No big
Always
deal.
leads back to the Chicago Bears.
Chicago sports in general, I can always track it back.
It dates back somewhere.
It's a long history, brother. It's a long history there. What else we got that's
Honestly,
intriguing?
yeah, Pittsburgh. The next matchup here on my list is Minnesota going to Duval County.
One other thing I just wanted to bring up on that, I just had to quickly fact check myself. Washington, third worst run defense in the NFL. That 1-2 combo, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren's healthy now. Yeah, they're gonna. I think that's
Jimmy's
another.
grabbing the phone.
That gives the.
That's guaranteed.
That definitely gives the Steelers some advantages there. Just they're probably just going to try to run it down Washington's throat all day. Duval County hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Crazy here. I'm taking my 5th road team. No, my 7th road team this week. I've only got 1 home team so far. I'm feeling confident in the road teams. I'll tell you. Yeah, Minnesota. I mean, the Jags are pretty terrible. Trevor Lawrence is just Daniel Jones with good hair care product. You know, Minnesota coming and playing AFC teams that don't see him a lot. That Brian Flores defense.
They don't know what to do, man.
I mean, we saw Joe Flacco struggle against it. I think it's going to trip up Trevor Lawrence. And yeah, you're going to see another good. Oh, Minnesota. They got to stay competitive in that tough NFC North.
They got to keep winning.
They're just gonna win it.
Oh man,
what do we got here, Jimmy?
These are clean.
Houston Texans rocking some fresh unis for the Thursday night game.
They're debuting their battle red jerseys and the battle red chrome helmets.
Those are clean. Let me see if
that'll show up on
Detroit
camera.
Lions.
We got to show that.
I think we can see. No, it's kind of blurry.
Jimmy, are you able to hold it closer to the camera? That's nice there. We didn't know they were. We didn't know that they were going to bust these out. We would have had a picture ready for y'all.
Oh yeah, you can kind of see it on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go look it up. Houston Texans battle red unis for Sunday Night Football. Those are clean. I like that.
Detroit Lions. I'm gonna have to go Houston, boys. I'm gonna have to go Houston. Bleep the Detroit
Kyle's
Lions.
Going Broncos. There we go.
Bleep the Detroit Lions. Paper Tigers, boys. Paper Tigers.
I'm gonna go with the Lions there, Jimmy. Houston just hasn't looked good.
Go with the Lions.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, dude. The Texans, they can't seem to beat good teams, especially teams from the North, except for the Chicago Bears. But I mean, let's look at every other team that they've played in the NFC North. I mean, they got shut down by the Packers defensively. Minnesota just crushed them. I see more of the same coming here from Detroit.
Hey, they beat the Chicago Bears.
Oh,
Is the receiving core healthy?
You're right. I'm so sorry.
Is the receiving core healthy in Houston? Because
Nico Collins is back. He was back last week. So he is back.
Didn't even realize. I hardly even know this.
Yeah, he did.
I'm going to pick Houston.
I'm still going with the Lions.
Tank Dell's there.
They're my
pick it up.
Mixon.
I got my top 10
I think
teams
Mixon's going to keep that
after week 9
on the sideline.
That's why I'm going to Houston.
The Detroit Lions don't have a defensive line that's going to pressure C.J. Stroud the way that he got pressured against the Green Bay Packers.
And the secondary is not that great. So if he has time and he has his guys, the Texans might win.
I have to go with the upset. I'm down in the standings. I just got to go for it now.
I'm going Houston too.
Go for it.
Because Detroit's chalk and everybody's going to pick Detroit, including Kyle probably. So I got to go Houston.
No, he went Broncos. He didn't go with the chalk there.
No, but that's just, that's.
Oh, we were talking about the Vikings game. That's actually my start of the week. Jordan Addison.
Oh, yeah.
He's been quiet this season. TJ Hawkinson's back in the lineup, playing a pretty atrocious pass defense in the Jaguars.
That's a good call for
good game for him to go off and get some confidence going down the stretch of the season. So start Jordan Addison in your fantasy leagues.
I got a game Mercury here in front of me that I just want to touch on real quick. How the heck are the Chicago Bears 6-point minus 270 on the money line favorite over anybody in the NFL right now? Including the New England Drake Mays. Yeah. Give me New England to upset the Chicago freaking Bears, dude.
I am going to take the Bears here. Just
Give me
the
New England
solid.
Patriots. I mean, is it now? I mean, I think they're quitting on each other.
Yeah.
New England, Ramondre Stevenson, if he can do anything close to what James Conner did, I mean, give me the Patriots to the moon, boys. Over the 220 on the money line for the Patriots. How are the Bears a touchdown favorite?
Patriots are bad.
You can't have it. That's to me, that's a 50-50, that's a coin toss. Who's going to win? But 6 points, I got to go New England just because of that.
All right. Well, I mean, that might not be bad.
I think
if
it's
you take
fair.
The spread, yeah.
I mean, it's like, dude, like, what are we doing?
That does seem
the
like
Bears
a high
don't have
spread.
anything that you're like, they can beat. You know what I mean? They're the New England Patriots of the NFC. What's really the difference?
I think the Giants are the New England Patriots of the NFC. Let's be real.
I mean,
maybe the Panthers.
But the Bears are the Giants of the NFC too. They just have Caleb Williams instead of Daniel Jones. They have the next Daniel Jones in the NFC. They look exactly alike. They play exactly alike.
You seen the clips of the receivers, dude?
DJ
Moore walked off a play.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams rolled out to the right and scrambled, and DJ Moore
and he extended the play, and he didn't even
walked
walk
off the field,
checked himself out mid-play.
Yeah. That's what kind of scares me to pick the Bears here. I'm gonna have it locked in Bears for now.
I mean, if there's a game that you should be able to win, it's this at-home game against the Patriots.
You better freaking win.
Yeah, they're gonna need it.
And I can tell you from watching Bears games, if the game that you're supposed to win, you're probably not gonna win.
I'll probably regret it, but I'm sticking with the Bears here.
All right,
Chargers and Tennessee Titans. Titans are going into LA.
Give me the Chargers here.
Yeah, I gotta go Chargers. They're a better team.
Yeah,
much better.
That defense, whether it's Levis or Mason Rudolph, I think is going to be harassing the quarterback. I mean, really, you don't got anybody that really threatens your secondary. So, like, if we can, neutralize Tony Pollard, that game becomes pretty easy. Herbert has been an elite game manager this year. Like, he's really just not turning the ball over and just putting up solid passing numbers and, making sure he's catching the snaps,
what it is.
Executing the handoffs really well.
17th in the NFL in passing is Justin Herbert, so middle of the pack.
Yeah, like they're like they don't really have like a lot of elite weapons there in LA. They're relying on their defense and their run game. I mean,
sounds like they could be using Mike Williams right about now, huh?
Yeah. Sounds like they should have traded for a wide receiver at the deadline. You're serious about being a playoff team. Dude, Quintez Johnson is like so confusing though, because is he good now? I don't know.
You can't even tell.
Yeah.
Same with Joshua Palmer.
He keeps
You're like, what's going on with these
He just
guys?
can't stay healthy. But Ladd McConkey seems like he's coming to his own.
That good young weapon there. I like Ladd McConkey.
The Chargers have a lot of potential that I see there. We'll see if they can actually. Yeah, but the big thing with the Chargers, they have a lot of potential a lot of times, and then it never amounts to anything. So that's the most Charger thing about them. All right, we got 2 more games. We're going to just real quickly, 3 more actually, that we're going to finish up here. Philadelphia going to Dallas, but no Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush is playing. Eagles are on the roll. I think that's easy.
Terrorized, man.
Easy Philadelphia win. New York Jets versus the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. James Conner should run a rough shot. Kyler Murray, another good game manager. Also, the Cardinals had 16 different players get a pressure last week. With how shaky that Jets offensive line is going to be.
Good point.
Going to be. I think they're just going to blitz the hell out of Aaron Rodgers. But that game could be closer if Garrett Wilson can play like he did last week.
I'll take the Jets.
All right. I don't know.
I think the Jets can win this one. This is a favorable matchup for them.
I can't.
Even though they suck. I'm not picking them. I can't. I saw what happened to you guys. It's happening to me with the Saints. I can't do it. I can't pick the Jets anymore.
I'm done picking the Jets. Maybe. We'll see.
Man's got PTSD.
All right. Our
picking,
final game, Monday Night Football, Miami Dolphins versus the LA Rams. Give me Miami, man.
Really good matchup. I think this is
Miami.
They look good. This is in a dome. Tua
I got it on my
back and
computer
healthy.
here. I've been looking at some of the stats. It's interesting, man. Basically a coin flip.
Dude, Tyreek, he's
1
bound
point
to get
spread.
back in the end zone now. I mean, 4 catches for 80
true.
yards last week. Devon Achane was
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. He was just a menace out of the backfield catching passes.
I love the LA Rams in this game for one reason. Miami Dolphins have nobody on defense that's going to stop Kyren Williams. That's just my thing. I really like the Rams matchup here. And they got that really good rookie defensive back that, I mean, Tyreek Hill, I don't know. I mean, there's ways that you can just box him in. Don't let him get explosive plays. You pretty much shut down that Miami Dolphins defense. I think McVay has seen that up-tempo offense before. Who did he used to coach with? Mike McDonald, head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Similar system. If there's somebody who can shut Mike McDaniel,
Bro,
McDonald. It's Mike's and McDonald's and McDaniel.
The Mike.
I'm done with it. I don't care. It's all the
many.
same guy. It's cookie cutter. Insert glasses and hair here with cool shoes. Done. That's just a plain old white guy. Versus McVay, I don't know. That's a tough matchup on the road in LA. Going from East Coast to West Coast, Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
And it's prime time.
I just think
1-4 on Monday Night Football on the West Coast to a title battle.
Miami needs a win badly, though.
They do.
They're 2-6. They're pretty much done.
Yeah, I think this might determine their season.
Yeah,
like if we win here, maybe we got a shot. If we lose here,
that's it.
Time to pack it up.
Curtain call.
You know what? I'm starting to feel a little less confident in the Dolphins.
No, pick the Dolphins. I need to win. I need to make I think the Rams are going to blow them out, honestly. I think this could be one of those games where it's
I'm going to stick with them. I liked what they nearly beat Buffalo in Buffalo last week. Give them a shot to get a win there.
They got a chance. It's going to be a tough game, though. But everybody, that's it for this week. We'll be back next Monday with another Football Frenzy. Make sure to get your picks in on the Pick'em. This has been Till the Final Whistle. We'll be back next week. Good night. Good luck.
Texas over Florida, boys.
All day.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.